What's up, everyone? It's Izarcon, aka Rate Duelist, where I'm doing podcasts with pro players and MBT, and now with Danny, Luke Von Karma. So, now, before you're all like, well, Danny's not a pro player, why do you have him on your pro player podcast? First of all,
I said the same thing.
How dare you disrespect Danny and not assume that he's the equivalent of Polly Aronson number 2?
Like, yeah, if Polly Aronson number 2 was like, like a child with Dark Magician, that would be me.
And, he has stuff to share about, his life and content creation. And I'm trying to expand this podcast to be more interesting than to the 50 people that listen to it right now. So, yeah, that's what's up. Okay, cool. Alrighty. So, why don't we go ahead and start by you introducing yourself? Oh, wait, actually,
sure.
We should start by me changing the guest name. Because right now you're Shunping Zhu. Luke
okay.
Karma. Do this. Okay, now we can do this. Luke Von Boogaloo. Okay, so introduce yourself.
Sure. My name is Luke Von Karma, aka my name is Danny, as some people like to call me. I started making content I think it was about 2 years ago now, which is time flies. I was, I'm good friends with MBT, Joseph Yugioh, and I was on a show with him. He brought on a lot of his friends and my friends on for a big funny Yu-Gi-Oh show together called Progression Playoffs, which was a ripoff of Alex Simo's Progression series. And from there, I was like, you know what? I want to stream. I'll stream my polls to some people who really want to see them, and it'll help me build and things like that. And from there, I just started streaming consistently, and I pretty much went from there. I guess like a bit about me. I'm, 29, Puerto Rican. Went to pretty normal life until I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh, and now it's not normal. So that's it. That's pretty much me. So now I'm a little baby, a little content creator.
A baby. Yeah, you're a big baby. Goo goo gaga.
Yep, that's what yep, correct.
So, you said your life was normal before Yu-Gi-Oh! And became abnormal after Yu-Gi-Oh! Tell me more about your two lives.
Well, I mean, you don't really want to hear much about the first life. The first life's just boring. I just, grew up pretty normal. Went to school, had, nice family, whatever. Have a job. I work full time, so I'm full time working while also doing streaming and YouTube. So things get a little hectic. And but with YouTube and streaming, it's a whole different world. I was a theater kid. I was a theater kid, and so I like performing like a fool. So I always have that acting itch, and so kind of fulfill it through streaming and YouTube. So that's pretty much what I was why I do what I do, and that's where Yu-Gi-Oh came in, I guess. I was always helping Joseph, aka MBT, on his intro skits. Very old very old MBT heads will know me as cameraman, because I was only referenced as cameraman in his skits. And sometimes he'd use me as props and acting as well for our silly, funny intros. And so I was always like on the low, just kind of helping, and kind of glad to now be a part of the little Yu-Gi-Oh community. And learning the ins and outs, because I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh a lot of my life, but this is the first time I ever got really into it in a way that is different than every other time.
First of all, theater kid, now I've lost all respect for you. I thought I didn't have any before, but now I have a negative amount. No,
it's fine. I don't need anyone's respect. I don't need mine. This guys.
Dude, the only reason I hate theater kids is because they bullied me in high school. You have to be a real loser if you get bullied by theater kids.
Yeah, listen, not all theater kids. I mean, I'm a nice boy. I'm a quote-unquote canonical nice boy.
Okay, nice boy. Okay, that's better than being a nice guy, right?
Yes, exactly.
speaking of which, would you like to talk about toxic masculinity? Because, like, for context, like, I have a student who's always talking about, like, oh, I gotta, like, I can't be a nice guy, you know, I have to be confident, I have to be assertive, and I was like, where are you getting this from? And so he sent me a video, of, like, this man who was definitely a 3 out of 10 talking about dating women, and it just had, like, all this, like, BS in it, and, like, all these kind of, like, toxic masculinity types of thoughts. And so I was wondering, as a man, what you think about that.
Oh, you are asking some loaded questions that are not about Yu-Gi-Oh. So, I mean, where do I start? I mean, I think to quickly, or I guess surmise what I think about that is that there are, I hate those kinds of videos, those things that are pushed to people and especially men. The toxic masculinity is super prevalent in our regular culture and internet culture as well. A lot of guys look for these kinds of videos because they're desperate for help. It's a cry for help for these men who want to change themselves and appear more confident, fix something in their life, whatever it is. And these people prey on men like this who are hurting, who have hurt before, who are desperate, who need help, who need mental help, therapy, whatever it is. And it's gross to see these kinds of things pushed onto men and be tricked by these kinds of get rich quick kind of feel schemes. They feel like scams almost, but you're looking for anything. You're looking for help. So it sucks. Some of them are really funny. They're incredibly funny. I think some of these they make me laugh so hard because of how ridiculous they are. So some will, like you said, it's like a 310 guy will come up and be like, this is what you should actually do to get smoking, babe or whatever. And you're just like, how do you take this seriously? Because if you're a guy and you're confident in yourself and you feel okay with who you are and you don't really think about anything else, you'd look at that and you just laugh because you're just like, this has nothing to do with me. I'm me and I like who I am. And that's the hard part for men to accept. And it's patriarchal and it's across our our society, and men have to face a lot of that constantly every day, and it's a very frustrating and hard battle, and it affects guys a lot, and it's hard to talk about because guys also are not, it's generally guys don't talk about their feelings, or they don't want to express that. They want to feel strong, and so they look for these guides. It doesn't feel like they're asking for help and feeling vulnerable, and instead they're kind of blocking it, and they're saying, oh, I just need like a coach, or like I just need, what would you do, like, cool guy? And the cool guy goes, yeah, like you should do this, and you go, cool, thanks for the advice. And it all feels very macho, very manly, and instead you're just it's really just like a lower sign, like I said before, a cry for help, a kind of thing that a mental health professional could much better do, and tell you that, hey, it's okay, just like who you are and enjoy you and explore what you like, and you don't have to worry about how to get a date or whatever. Just focus on yourself. And it's very easy to be like, just focus on yourself, but it really is like, as soon as you start to think about you and what you like, you'll be able to kind of at least move forward, one step at a time. So that's my whole spiel on it.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, because men's mental health is a big issue. And I have a question for you as a man, is that, do you feel like as a man it's hard to talk about your feelings and open up with other guys?
With other guys, yeah, I'm a bit of a different case. I've done a lot of therapy, and I've tried to heal myself, and I feel like I've grown up with a very good support system. So I don't have as much trouble opening up with other guys who are my friends. Like, zero problem with that, me personally. And I also like to choose friends who would be okay and open with me sharing, like, myself with them. So I have no problem doing that myself. Now, if you asked me maybe when I was younger and didn't have as much healing and as much thought to myself, maybe. But even then, I had a really good support system. So I had my mom and my sisters and my dad, and so I was. I didn't have that much trouble being like, hey, I don't like this or whatever. But even so, it was still hard. It's still hard I think I'm pretty like lucky in my sports system and my stuff and the way I've healed, and I think I can do that pretty well. But even with that, it's still tough, So so I'd say I haven't had a problem, but I can definitely see myself, if I didn't have what I had, having a lot of issues with it. And I've had friends who have had problems with it too. So that's pretty much it.
Okay, makes sense. And as a man, oh god, it's so hard to do this bit, but I'm gonna stick to it. I can't do it.
What is the bit? What is going on?
Because when I go on podcasts, people ask me about being a female. So I thought it'd be funny if I asked you about being a male. Like,
I mean, that's funny, but
But I couldn't keep up with it because I can't say it with a straight face. I can't be like Joseph who says stuff with a straight face.
Yes, he's very annoying.
Oh, wow, that was. We don't talk bad about Joseph on this stream. Actually, we have never.
Yes, I do. I'm sorry. You got to get used to that. I have no problem being mean to him. Zero problems.
Oh man, I was gonna ask you like point blank, like straight face, like, so as a man in Yu-Gi-Oh, do you have a boyfriend? But I couldn't do it. So yeah. Okay.
It's completely fine. Okay.
Okay. So Yu-Gi-Oh, how'd you get into it?
How did I get into Yu-Gi-Oh? Well, I was let's see. I don't know. 5 or 6. Whenever the first kind of starter deck of Kaiba came out, I loved the deck and playing with my older sister, and we played, in school, and just like every other kid when it was such a huge craze. And from there, I played a little bit, and then kind of dropped off as I got older, and then got back into it when Synchros came out, and me and my cousin played a lot. And I loved kind of learning. It was my first time learning the rules a bit more. Like, I can only summon once, and trying to follow as best as we could, and all that. And from there, we played for a while. And then it's funny. I think like around the Dark Arm Dragon format, aka when Dad was out and really expensive, I started to kind of stop playing a bit because you started to need to kind of own these more expensive cards. And I was a kid, so I was like, I don't want to buy these things. I don't have money. So, kind of quit for a while. Came back towards the Xyz era. Again, these are all childhood experience kind of things. I would try it again, play a little more. Less I played and more I kind of just liked buying and selling cards with my friends, and that's about it. And then when I really tried to get good at the game was when in school, I was in college with Joseph, and he got me back into it around 2015. And the first kind of competitive deck I picked up was Cosmo. So back then, Cosmo was one of the top decks. It was Cosmo, Monarch, and BA. I think it was BA. And it was a lot of fun, but it was so hard for me to grasp concepts and grasp the intricacies of quick effects and things like that. And so I tried, and I didn't do super hot. And so I quit again. And so this has always been my relationship with Yu-Gi-Oh, just on and off, on and off, on and off. And so I tried again in around 2019 or 2017 maybe, during Toss format. I played a bit of Thunder Dragon because Joseph got me the deck, and I played a little bit, but I just wanted to help the channel. And then I got back in for real in 2020 for Virtual World, and so I picked that deck up, started, and all the little concepts kind of still were rumbling in my head. So I still remembered no targets, how to use this, synchros, links. I remember a lot of stuff, so it was easy to jump back in, but that was my kind of tumultuous path.
Okay. So you kind of went in and out, and then eventually found yourself type of thing. They're VW fans are they're pretty into VW. Like, I know
They
some
rock.
diehard ones. Did you
Yep,
buy
me
the
too.
the $50 spreadsheet that Nash put out?
I didn't know any content creators at all. The only person I watched was Joseph, obviously, because I supported him or whatever. Because I didn't know anything much about Yu-Gi-Oh at all. So I was like, I just learned the deck. Some YouTube combo videos was always how I learned stuff. So I think it was like, I forget the name of the channel. It was like Skull or something. Yu-Gi-Oh is cool guy. He just showed off combos and it was like, yeah, you want to do this with this, blah blah blah, M7, blah blah blah. So I just learned from those. I did not buy the spreadsheet.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah. Whenever you were saying that, I thought you were gonna say like, "Oh, the only person I watched was Joseph before I knew any better," and then
True.
damn, roasting that type of thing.
No.
Oh, okay.
He makes good content.
What is your favorite deck then?
This is my favorite deck. People have asked me this a couple times, and I genuinely can't really answer it super well. I like decks that I'm good at, so
None.
that.
Just kidding.
Yep, true. So I don't like. Well, that's why I don't like Yu-Gi-Oh. Um, Virtual World I have a soft spot for it. I really do love it. I don't play it much anymore because it's not. I like playing. I like to win. Obviously, I'm a little competitive, so I'm just like, oh, I gotta play like the better deck or whatever. And so, but I do love Virtual World, Sprite, Sword Soul, and I have not played Cash, but I played a lot of the silly like Cash cards in our Progression Playoff series, and I do love the idea of Cash, but I have not played the deck itself. I think I'd like it a lot. To be fair, it feels like a fun deck, even though it's everyone's sick of it. But I'm not because I haven't played it. So those, I guess, the favorites would be kind of like I would just say Sprite, Sword Soul, VW so far.
Okay, that's fair. Soon Cash rules everything around us. Very, very soon.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like,
True.
I picked up Cash from Mexico. I picked it up before any other loser did. 6 weeks before Mexico, me and Polly were testing. I was playing Cash, he was playing Tier. And, like, I went undefeated in Mexico. And then, I got sick. So there was no day 2, and it was a team, YCS 2. But, like, I just destroyed everyone. And it was, like, super fun. And then everyone else started playing it, and then they discovered how to do the 5-zone lock, and then it became kind of toxic. And then, yeah, when it comes to Master Duel, I might start playing Master Duel. But I did the Light Festival, and I got 4,500 gems, and I spent them all, and I didn't open up a single cash card.
Now that's the Master Duel I know and love. That's the game I love, baby. That's the game I've tied my YouTube to.
So, yeah, we'll see what's up. I don't know. Are you more of a TCG person or a Master Duel person?
I love online simulators like Master Duel. I used to be a big Hearthstone guy, so Master Duel helps me and my brain. I really love like all of the interactions. It makes Yu-Gi-Oh like super enjoyable to play. In paper, I've always had trouble kind of like remembering effects and things like that, which it's just like a me thing, and so it's hard to train my brain to do that. And so it's nice to have Master Duel kind of teach me those things and kind of get me better in the game regardless. So I guess I'd say I'm a bit more of a Master Duel player. I still like TCG. There's always a home for it. It's just a little more like daunting. It's a little more, I don't know if it's more competitive or not. It's just definitely a different ball game. And playing with people is different. Dealing with judges is different, and I'm used to it. And there's stuff I just don't love about that as well. And there's pros and cons. And it can be hard. So I like it. I like playing with friends a lot IRL. With like my friends, it's always super fun and enjoyable. A lot of my friends who are like now people I've met through Master Duel and Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff who also play TCG are super fun. They're super nice to me and they like teach me how to play stuff, and it's great, and I love that. So there's always a spot for it, and I want to like there's always a format I'm like, oh, I'll play for real this format, and then I don't because I'm just like I'm just so busy. But one day I'll have a format where I'm like, this is my format.
Yeah, I think when you find that one deck that you really connect with, that was for me, Kastira. Like, I tested, like, every single day for, like, hours type of thing. Like, yeah, if it was solo YCS, I feel like I could have maybe talked. That would have been crazy. I would definitely have made day 2. But
Yeah.
I think, yeah, when you fall in love, there's nothing better than the embrace of cardboard.
The warm, beautiful embrace of a Rise heart.
I do hope he gets banned in TCG, though. He's kind of, like, cramping up my style.
It sucks.
And shifter to 2, please. My god.
Shifter to 0, please. No more.
Oh, man. I do feel if they get rid of a Rise Heart, then there's less of an incentive to get rid of Shifter. But I don't really like Shifter at 3. It's just I can't really imagine them outright banning it.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, you know how TCG bans work. They're very aggressive in their either ban or limit policy because they never use semi limits like the way OCG and now Master Duel do. They are just like, it's gone. This is gone. This is one done. And there's never like semi limits are just so rare now. So I assume they'll maybe limit Shifter or just ban it outright. But I don't know. I'm not going to cope and be like, oh, they're going to ban Shifter. They're never going to ban that card. But in my head. But if they do, it'd be great.
Yeah, that would feel good. But yeah, it's sort of like half your hand traps are dead when Shifter hits the floor.
Great.
Quite
my
feels
favorite.
bad, man. I washed my hand. I had versus Flender. I had Droll and Baylor, and I was like, "There's no way they can play through this." Drop Shifter. I was like, "God damn it! I lost that game."
Yeah, they can play through this.
Okay. Do you have any plans to go to any upcoming YCS things?
I think I'm taking a little bit of a break. Been to so many so far. I think the next one's Cancun, so that's kind of a big trip, and I think I'm probably skipping that one. I don't know when the next one is. I assume if it's in October, I think there's one in October that I'm also skipping for different travel reasons, just conflicts. So I might definitely go to the next one probably after that. So probably if there's one in November or December maybe, or latest probably like the January or February ones.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah. I was planning to go to Vancouver. I'm already going to Cancun and trying to go to Indiana. And y'all can help me by donating, and all proceeds will be matched and donated to charity.
Nice.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. With plenty of prizes to give away. But, we'll see what's up type of a thing. I was mostly concerned about leaving my cat, Eva. I have 2 cats. Eva's my special needs kitty, but she's doing a lot better.
That's great.
Yeah, like her twitching has gone down considerably. She's more active. She's not like a zombie anymore. Like, so I feel like good. I can leave her type of a thing. So yeah. Do you have any pets?
I don't. I grew up with my family's dog twice. My first dog passed away, and then we got a second dog. So my whole life was taking care of those 2 little stinkers. And then my previous relationship I had, they also had 2 dogs. Excuse me. So I helped take care of them too. So a lot of other people's pets that became kind of my pets. And so I always kind of had that kind of pet with me. But right now, no pets currently. I live in a studio apartment, and I don't want to give a dog or a cat or anything. I guess I'm a little allergic to cats. So I wouldn't want to give a pet this like tiny little studio apartment. I would like them to get a little bit of a nicer place.
That's fair. Yeah. Or you could get a hamster.
True. It's a good idea. Hamster. Maybe like a raccoon or like a possum.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think possums are so gross looking. I cannot look at a possum without wanting to throw up.
I think they're cute. I think they're pretty cute.
They're not cute. Also, possum, I'm sorry, Leah, but hear me out. Where the hell did the O come from in a possum? My whole life, I thought when people were saying a possum, I thought it was like the letter A and then possum. Like, where did this O come from?
What do you mean? It's an opossum.
No, it's a possum. It's not an opossum. It's a possum. Like, possums are like
language.
homeless raccoons. Like, I mean, raccoons are already homeless. How do you say that word? Raccoon?
Raccoon?
Raccoon, yes. Did I say raccoon?
I don't know. I don't know what I only know how to say it one way, and it's raccoon.
Okay, I've been sitting in a hot tub. That's like not a hot tub. It was a cold tub for 8 hours, and I'm a little delirious at this point. So,
makes sense.
Opossums are just not cute. They're just like.
Now we'll agree to disagree.
They hiss at you too, and they have like this. Oh, hi, Alistair. They have like this like evil look in their eyes, and they have like fangs. They're like, you know, like it's very terrifying.
Yeah, they can get a little scary.
Yeah. Anyway, so you know what I heard about you? I heard
what?
That when you started Twitch streaming, you immediately started with like 300 viewers.
No, who said that? That is just not true. I assume I don't know if you're like, I don't know if it's a bit, but no, I did not.
No, like someone was talking about like, oh yeah, we all started at like, 2 followers, except Danny, who started at 300 for some reason. That's exactly what they said.
Followers, maybe. I mean, I had, I don't know, like 20, 30 viewers when I was starting. And I had that for a pretty hot minute and slowly kind of grew to like 40, 50, 60 and eventually got higher. But I probably had, a lot of help from people like Joseph and other cool, community members in the MBT Jank Tank who liked me and wanted to support me even when, when I was starting out. And they were great. And I had, like 10 or 15 people come to stream is nice, and I liked talking to them. So I didn't get it instantly. No, I mean it still didn't take. I mean, it definitely was faster because of the help, and I was very lucky, but not that fast. I was streaming Duel Links on Saturdays to like 20 people. Like this is fine.
That's fair. Duel Links. Everyone should play Duel Links. I'm not saying that because I'm a Duel Links sponsored streamer, but. Yeah, we play Duel Links. Wink, dink, nudge, nudge. But I guess I'm kind of wondering, like, how do you grow on something like Twitch and YouTube type of a thing? Like, how do you start small but kind of get bigger?
So there's two big questions because Twitch and YouTube are so different in the way to grow. I mean, I'll start with Twitch and listen. Twitch is such a nightmare of a beast and so difficult to handle, but I think let me take this comparison. So there's a lot of things you can do. The first, obviously, high level thing you can do is just be consistent. This is said everywhere. A lot of YouTubers and streamers are always just like, if you're consistent, you will grow at least a little bit. It's part of this whole entourage of things you can do. But I think this one's the biggest one, and it helped me at least feel like I was making progress. So I said I committed to myself. I said I want to stream 3 days a week, same time, same place, have a schedule, and every week, and anyone can drop in at the exact same time always. They never have to worry about like when I'm moving. Most of the time, obviously, this doesn't mean you can't take breaks or change days up if you need to, but for the most part, you always stream those days, Tuesday, whatever. So for mine, were at the time it was like Thursday, Friday, Sunday, and I did those, and I switched over to Tuesday at some point. So consistency is huge. That one does translate to YouTube as well. So I noticed a lot of growth on YouTube when I was consistently making 3 videos a week. I was, uploading and editing my own videos 3 days a week, and I just did, and I slowly worked on them, even if it wasn't like my best videos, or if they were just clips, or a minute long, or 3 minute longs, or 10 minutes longs, whatever it was. I was like, but I'm uploading same time, same place, 2:30 every time, every day, or every 3 days, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So that's like the big thing. I think doing that, and even if you can't commit to 3 days like me, I work part-time, so I only stream like 3 or 4 hours a night those 3 nights, and that's what I can do. That's what I can kind of afford for time. But if you can't afford that, make it 2, make it once a week, every Monday you're live, whatever it is. Just make that commitment to yourself and say, yeah, I'll just do it just once. It helps a ton, and it helps you as well as a content creator understand like, how valuable it is, and it gives your community, that sense of sameness, and it's really nice. Now, in terms of other stuff for Twitch, I think tech matters a lot more on Twitch than it does on kind of YouTube. I think on both platforms you can kind of, if you need to, you can budget on both. You can figure out like, let me get this budget mic, get this budget camera, and it doesn't have to be perfect as long as it looks okay, and that's completely fine. And even people have streamed on terrible laptops. People have done YouTube videos on terrible stuff that doesn't matter, and people still love their content. But just remember, on stream, because it's live and you're doing kind of like a live action TV show, the live action of it means that if the tech isn't working, and most streamers, and you probably know this, when your tech fails, it's super frustrating because you're giving a live audience something to watch, and when they can't watch it live, you feel like it's not working. You're like, oh, like I'm letting the people who are watching my TV show live down because they want to watch the content. So making sure that your tech at least is stable, looks okay, and feels pretty good. So mess with those internet providers. Make sure that you're not streaming at too big of a bit rate. Make sure you got the right little microphone, little camera. Like, I started with my Bluetooth headphones that I had just normally. I had a Bluetooth Yeti mic for a bit, and I had my webcam that I bought. It was like I don't know, what was the webcam before? It was my I think I just bought like the Logitech one. It was like a $100 one on Amazon, and it was like a stream cam, and it was nice, but it was still like I didn't know how to get it like how I wanted it. But it still looked good, and it felt good, and I was like, this looks good, even if it's not perfect, even if it's not exactly what I want, even if it's not professional or whatever. It was consistent, nice, and it was straightforward, and it didn't fail ever most of the time. I paid for good internet because I could. If you can't, then just make sure you flux those things. All of this like tech stuff is stuff you can control and figure out, which helps your stream be better. And so when you have those things, it helps people when they jump to check your stream. They go, oh, well, this guy's talking about whatever, and you're like on Master Duel, or you're talking about something, or maybe you're playing a game, you're explaining a play, or whatever it is. Maybe it's not that. Maybe you do other content, but they feel like they can kind of latch on and say, oh, this looks pretty good. I wonder what this guy's doing. And then they can watch, and maybe they like your content. They follow the channel. So you always want to put yourself into those scenarios that make you lucky, I guess, that make you feel lucky. So you want to set yourself up for those lucky moments. So whether it's like maybe a big content creator raids you, or maybe you get a big shout out from someone because they like your stuff, and you're pretty unknown, and I don't know, maybe you have 5 or 10 people watching you, and that's okay because this big guy just came in, and you want to be ready for those kinds of moments. So you want to treat your stream like it's a great stream, because it is. So when you have those mentalities, you feel like you can actually push forward and make good content. Similar with YouTube, but YouTube's much more crafted. You can take your time, you can craft the right video, you can make a thumbnail, you can spread that around, and a lot of different stuff for YouTube. So I'm less well versed in YouTube. I think I still have a lot to learn there. I feel like I'm a little better at streaming, at least currently, but I still feel like, my YouTube's growing because it's people. I hit the algorithm right. I consistently upload. I try to make my own thumbnails. All these things you can think about. There's so many little things you can set yourself up for success. Look up those small things, and you can. That's my advice to grow. So big long-winded answer for you.
Okay. Sorry, I zoned out. Can you repeat that, please? Just kidding.
No.
No, that's all like really good advice. I think consistency is something that I hear from a lot of people, type of a thing. And like the time commitment isn't as big of a deal as being consistent about it. And
Yep.
like you were saying, makes a lot of sense, type of a thing. I just personally feel like I'm kind of stuck. It's sort of like maybe 1-2 years ago, I was like I was getting 75 to 100 type of a thing. The Master Duel came out, and I didn't really get in on Master Duel, So like since pretty much all my viewers are casual, we don't have no like pro players following Zarkon, like they kind of went to Master Duel, and then now like DB is so bad to stream because it's so boring to watch type of a thing that it's sort of like, you know, like playing DB is really important to me because like I need to get the practice in and I need the emotional support like from chat while I'm navigating like horrible like interactions and stuff. But I know that's not exactly the most interesting thing. And a lot of my viewers don't even play on Dueling Book. So it's sort of like, okay, I have these fundraiser streams where I have like guests and those are more well attended, but like it's sort of like I can't do this every single time because it takes a lot of work and energy, and I also need to practice the game. So I'm trying to like find my voice. That's what they say in comedy, like, you know, you find your voice and that's when everything clicks type of thing. But I don't necessarily know what videos I want to put out or like what I want to stream. I kind of just want to do what I want to do, but I don't know if that's necessarily conducive for growth. And it's like really discouraging too because I feel like I've been out there, and I'd say like a lot of people know who I am, so it's kind of discouraging to not have more viewership.
Yep, and that's part of, you know, making content is how frustrating it can be to put in the effort and still see like no results, or maybe not the results you want from the content you put out. Because like, I don't know, constantly I'll upload like a video and it doesn't do as well as I want it to because it's, you know, off brand for my content. So YouTube loves sameness. They love consistency of the same thing. So if you're not doing the same thing, it almost always will not do well because your brand and your YouTube is catering to these people, these videos, and they like the sameness, they like the routine. So if you don't have like a gimmick or something to kind of do all the time, it's hard to pull in people unless you're already so well known. So the top content creators can kind of just do whatever they want to if they think it's fun and they think they can enjoy it. So they can, you know, probably upload a DB match and it'd be fine or whatever, or they're playing a video game or something, and it's hard. So you have to balance what can I use for trends and what can I do that's still me and still what I like to do. So for me, I did like simulators and I loved Master Duel, or at least I loved the idea of Master Duel. It still wasn't exactly what I wanted, but it was like, okay, a way to play with my friends, whatever. And so on YouTube, I was still figuring out like, what do I want to show off? And I found like Duel Live, for example. I was like, oh, this is hilarious. It's just random people. I actually got the idea from Duel Links because on Duel Links, there's also a Duel Live. And you get gems for watching the little Duel Live. And I always loved watching it. I was like, ooh, I like watching these little matches. Like sometimes it's cool and fun stuff. And so I was like, if I like it, why don't I show people that? And so I did. And I was just like, I don't know. And so I was content with it and enjoying it and showing that off. That's what I liked. And I was like, I just thought this was fun. And those are the videos that feel the best. And so showing off these like silly games or whatever felt like, you know, it just kind of all fell in place. So that's kind of the thing you find for yourself. Like, for example, Joseph's big thing. He loved doing TMTs. It's the core of the channel. It's all he did. And so because he loved it, he liked assessing decks, giving them a little scoop. And it's not, you know, the most innovative idea. There's a ton of people checking out decks or whatever, but he felt like he could find that niche and maybe finding jank or like whatever, or some kind of deck that no one's really talking about and be like, check this out. It's dinos, but with whatever it was. So having that like thing that you enjoy, it's like every time you make that video. And so I don't know, there's just a ton of stuff like that can help you fill your niche and feel like you don't need to grow per se, and you always have that thing that you enjoy making regardless of if it grows or not. So mine was the Duel Live stuff. I loved it. I thought it was hilarious, and I had good feedback from the small amount of people I had around during that time, and they were like, "This is so funny. I love it. It's awesome. You really got to upload this to YouTube, please." And just a couple people telling me that, I was like, "Okay, great, let's do it." And so I tried. And some stuff works, some stuff does not. My clips, I tried putting like little clips up minute 2. I was like, it's not. People don't like this. They actually like the longer stuff. I think that's what the assessments I made. So it's all those little things that you try and do. So
Yeah. That's definitely all good, like, points and advice for sure. Stuff to think about. Like, one thing that I really want to do, because, like, my favorite video I ever did was a skit. And, like, I don't know if you saw it, but it was basically about, like, a Yu-Gi-Oh coach. So, like, I dressed up in this crazy costume and I was a coach. And then I would record myself talking to myself as a player. And so, like, the bit was like, okay, how to really intimidate your opponents. You got a hand shuffle. You gotta check your graveyard.
That's
you have to
funny.
ask them
I like
how
that.
to do that.
It sounds familiar. I feel like I saw a thumbnail for it.
Yeah, so I'll send it to you because I just think it's also extremely low budget because, like, I was, like, moving at the time, and so, like, you can see, like, boxes in the background, and, like, I didn't have anyone to help me film it, so I had to, like, set up my stand, and, like it's so low budget, but it's so funny. But, like, I don't know, that one, it took me, like, hours and hours to do, but I was, like, really happy with it, and I thought it was really funny. And then, I thought it might be kind of cool to do, like, more videos like that, but, like, as a woman in Yu-Gi-Oh, like, a lot of really, like, strange things happen to me, and I think it'd be funny to, like, make fun of that. Talk about, like, and I can, like, I have mustaches and stuff, so I can, be different characters and stuff like that, and I think that would be really fun. It's just sort of like I'm really busy and I'm trying to prepare for all these regionals and YCSs, but, like, that's something I really want to do. I think that could be really fun.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. I mean, that was the crux of why I feel like Joseph, at least partly, again, all these little parts that come together, he started to grow, is because people loved his dumb little skit intros, and he loved making them, and I liked being a part of it too. I wasn't making content or anything. I was just his friend, and but he'd come to my room, he'd bust down my door and be like, "What's the intro? What are we doing?" And I'm like, "What are you talking? I don't even know what Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't even know. I haven't played this game in, like, years. What are you talking about?" And so he'd have to explain to me, and I'd have to be like, "I don't know, do this maybe." And he'd be like, "Oh, what if we do this?" And I'm like, "Great." And so we'd film, like, the dumbest skit imaginable and be like, Is this a luber? Put your hands up, like something dumb like that, and like, and it was so much fun. Like, that was the best part, and people were like, "I love the intros. Please keep doing it. It's awesome." And so, like, that's what hooked people. These silly, stupid jokes, and there's not enough of that. So that sounds great to me. And there's a ton of, like, it's finding that stuff where you're like, I think people haven't done this, and I really like it. So that's great.
Yeah, and I actually do have, like, sketch writing comedy background, so in theory I could maybe make it funny. Maybe. In theory. I don't know. I always like to say I'm, like, a failed comedian. I'm not failed, I'm just busy. So, yeah. But I am technically a professional comedian, because I get paid.
Nice.
This is kind of like being a professional Yu-Gi-Oh player, which I'm not,
True.
but I can say I am because I've won money. So, yeah.
Yeah. When I go to a YCS, I go, "Yeah, I made money. Look how many switches I have. Check this out."
Oh my god. Yeah, it's funny because, like, at work, like, people are always asking me, like, "So why are you going on vacation all the time?" So I told them, like, "Listen, I am a competitive Yu-Gi-Oh player. Like, I have to go because it's my second job, or I guess sixth job, to travel all around the world and play this card game." And they're like, "Wow, how do you afford it?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, I kind of have these people that are like sponsors that help fund these trips. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, please donate to me." And, like, yeah, it's funny how you can spend things.
It's nice. Yeah. Chat. Remember, what are we at for the next? What is it? The next giveaway?
Let's see. So we're at 100, so 105. So we need to get to 200 I don't mind
Gotcha.
cutting it down. If we get to like 150, I'll give away a box of Photon Hypernova.
Nice. Ooh, that sounds nice.
Yeah, if you're wondering why I have boxes of Photon Hypernova, I don't really remember, but I just happen to have them.
Hey, it sounds pretty good to me. I'll take any paper cardboard from my favorite card game.
We have crazy prices though. We have like Pyramid, Amanda Lepon playmats that are unavailable
Sick.
online anywhere. We have Starlights. We have a lot of stuff. So yeah. But I'm kind of happy we didn't reach the goal because the goal was giving away my Ghost Rare Stardust Dragon. It's right here. I don't know if you can see.
And you're like, please don't hit the goal. I really like this card.
And then the other goal before that was giving away my Max Rarity Purely deck, which I also didn't want to do. But
yeah, I saw that. I was like, whoa, dang.
yeah. So, I don't know, we did a hot tub stream, so we sold our body for money, and it didn't work.
Nice.
I make more money not doing a hot tub stream, so we'll see what's up. Maybe the problem was I dressed up as Bandit Keith. Maybe there was something else going on there.
Yeah, maybe a conflict of interest.
Yeah. Okay, so how do we find you?
Oh, I mean, you can find me most places. Twitch.tv/LukeVonKarma, YouTube.com/LukeVonKarma, Twitter.com/LukeVonKarma, or X, whatever. Don't care. And I'm also on Blue Sky. Blue Sky, I'm also Luke Von Karma there. I guess I'm on, I have not posted a single TikTok, but I guess I am on TikTok for Luke Von Karma and Instagram, Luke Von Karma as well. So anywhere you find those, I'm all on there. So check me out. But thank you, Zara, for having me on.
Thank you. Is there anything else you want to say?
Good luck. Excited for your donos here. Hope you make it to the top. And thanks.
Okay. Everyone spam emotes to thank Danny for being on our podcast. Please like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Patreon if you want to see these things right away. And love you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Sorry, I was eating a salad a little bit.
You're eating a Salamangreat deck? What are you talking about?